it's Pride Month. You came out last year, which is amazing, and I feel like the reception has probably been awesome. You also recently talked about coming out. So first of all, for you on your end, what has the reception been like?
Oh, what a great question. When I came out a year ago, I really thought that was going to be it. And I thought I had like said it and I thought everybody just like knew. And I also think that because I have been out in my own personal life ever since I can remember. I think the first time I had a conversation about my sexuality, I was like 8 years old with my mom. And anybody who I've met since then, it's very like, oh yeah, I guess my whole life I've said I'm bi. Oh yeah, I'm bi. And it's just been sort of like oh, okay. Nobody's ever been like, what? Because I think I do present with energy that is not, conducive to, I don't think it's like a big shock ever once you get to know me, really. Right. And so when I came out last year, I really was like, oh, great. And there it is, right? And then when the Gay Times cover came out last week, I was shocked with how many people were shocked. It's been interesting. It's definitely been interesting. I think like last year felt safer to me because I there just wasn't as much of a reaction. And so I was kind of like, oh, okay, great. And then this time around, I woke up, I just didn't realize how it's an interesting feeling when something's so intrinsic and like pure about who you are means anything at all to people, which is not to say that I'm surprised by that or I didn't know that. It's an interesting feeling.
Like pressure or almost?
It just feels like suddenly everybody's in your living room. Like it just suddenly feels like everybody, yeah, it's very strange. And there aren't that many things that I feel that way about because obviously I think you know me, I'm very, very open. And so it's been an interesting like week processing that with the amount of text messages I got and lovely, lovely support, like a lot of support from my queer family, my LGBTQ family. And important people in my life or people who I barely know. It's been really, really wonderful. I think it's just a sort of an adjustment to being witnessed in that way by people who aren't important to you. Like the world has an opinion about something that is so just natural. I'm definitely adjusting to that, but it's for the most part, it's been really, really wonderful and it feels new. I feel very new.
I love that, and I'm just so happy for you. What did surprise me in the interview in the Gay Times is that you said that you were worried that people wouldn't believe you or you thought you wouldn't be accepted. And I guess I'm curious, like, do you still feel that way or why did you feel that way?
I don't feel that way as much anymore. I've been speaking to a lot of my queer identifying friends this week about, that feeling of, do I belong here? That feeling of like, even if you've known who you are your whole life, I think there's a sort of a common feeling of like, oh, but I can't enter into the LGBTQ community because, all these reasons that we make up in our head. I think there have been a couple times in my personal life where I've told somebody who I was and it was received with skepticism or like I was maybe, some kind of misconception about what sexuality really means to someone. I think there have been a few times where I've stated purely and simply who I am and someone's gone, but not really, right? But not really. You're so girly or, you're so
right. As if you fit into a box or something.
Right. And I think that because of that and because it is something so personal, I just got it in my head. I was like, oh God, what if that happens all over the world? What if that happens at a mass scale? And then I'm constantly defending something that is just like so me and so intimate. I don't want to do that. Am I ready to feel that way all the time? Am I ready to constantly go to bat with someone who doesn't even deserve my energy around this because they're going to question something that is so intrinsic to me? Like, definitely I am facing a lot of that. People being like, oh, well, she's only ever, publicly dated men or, all kinds of things like this that people think that they know about you, especially when you live out loud like me. I think a lot of people think they know everything about someone like me because I share so much.
You could have dated a woman and maybe it was a private relationship and we didn't know about it. But you're saying people just make these assumptions because of who you've posted with in the past or who you've posed in a picture with.
or, you know, they think I'm feminine and they think that femininity has something to do with sexuality. It's, you know, it's all very like enmeshed and broken. And, but yeah, I am definitely like, you know, I think it was very important that I did that for myself and also for my young fans who are so impressionable. I think that it's so important. I did it for me. I did it for me. But I think that the beautiful thing about living your life for yourself is then you make room for other people to live their lives for themselves when in whatever way that means to them. And that's very important to me.
Yeah. And to even just spark the conversation, the more it's talked about, the better it is.
Oh yeah. No, we need to destigmatize like basically everything, right? Like stigma is such an ego-based, like unnecessary. You know, it's like it's old. We're bored, you know. I think we just need to destigmatize everything and rehumanize everything, and then we'll be like kosher.
What does Pride Month mean to you at this point?
Oh well, this is gonna be my first Pride Month, like really out. So my friend, I know, yay! My friend texted me the other day and was like, "This month is for you," and I was like, "Oh." You know, it's like I was like, wow, there's a lot of like emotion around my coming out that I didn't really anticipate because I've always been out in my private life. So I was sort of like, what emotion? You know, it's like I had to be just like, I knew I was gonna come out, but it's very, it's different. I feel different, you know, being out and having people say things like that to me, like Happy Pride Month. I'm like, oh, thank you. Thanks. I'm usually the one wishing Happy Pride Month and counting myself like an ally.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's special. It's special. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do.
I think it's amazing, and I'm so happy for you, and I'm so happy that your story is out there and that people are receiving it so well and learning, and that it's been such a positive thing.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.